house today, and I know why. It ain't me. Well, it's the summer reality show that brings the drama every single year. Big Brother 24. Can you believe 24? Has been full of twists and turns with another house guest voted out last night, but not before. I actually walked into my house to this very moment going, what the hell's happening? Not before delivering a fiery speech. Look.
House guests, please vote to evict me. I'd rather hang out with Nicole and Paloma than any one of you bozos here today. This place is a circus, and you're all a bunch of clowns. It's time to wake up and realize Michael has...
Hey, that is Daniel just before he was voted out of the house. Gee, I wonder why. Every week, two Minnesota veterans of Big Brother, I'm going to call them legends, of Big Brother break down the game on their popular podcast called Diary Room Open Mic. Welcome back to the show, royalty, reality TV royalty, and four-time Big Brother player Janelle, and fourth-place Big Brother finisher McCrae, everybody. Hello, friends.
Hey.
Welcome back.
Yes, thanks for having us back.
Okay. Bring people in like me who I haven't watched this season. I'm not joking, though, and it's funny that you both are booked on the show today. We walked in from dinner last night, and we had CBS on, and the dogs were watching Big Brother, and it was that moment. Who is this dude? What?
He is, not very popular. He's a terrible player, and he's been pretty evil on the show. So I think the house is happy to get rid of him.
Well, okay, you immediately a bad player, because villains can sometimes be really good. So he's a villain that's a bad player. Why?
He basically kind of made his bed right away at the beginning of the game. He kind of trashed some pretty popular people, and, he just didn't make the allies that he needed to.
And he also used the veto and got rid of his best friend accidentally.
Yep.
His only ally in the house. He's terrible.
He did?
Yes. He's really bad.
Oh, he's a horrible player.
Yeah.
Let's talk about someone who is a good player, and we're not just saying this because he's from Minnesota. Tell the folks about Michael. About Michael from Minnesota.
Yes, we love Michael. He's a local Minnesota guy, so we're obviously rooting for him, and he's a phenomenal player. He's made Big Brother history. He's won more competitions in the first 5 weeks than any other player in Big Brother history.
Are you kidding me?
No, he's a great player.
What?
He's doing so good.
Okay, the opposite version of what I just asked you. What makes him a good player?
Winning a lot can put a target on your back, but on top of that, he has made a lot of connections with a lot of people in the game. So I think that he's really developed those relationships, which will take him further into the game.
Okay. And I hear he's obsessed with you. He is obsessed with you, Janelle.
I don't know.
Yeah. On my card it says, obsessed with Janelle, talks about her on the live feeds. Yeah. He loves you, Janelle.
Apparently he's got this little segment on the show where he says, what would Janelle do? WWJD.
Yeah. Can he win?
I think so, absolutely. He loves this game so much. He studied it so much so that I actually think that he has a really good chance, even though, he's a target now.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm just kind of doing the math. 24 years. If he wins, Minnesota has been represented pretty well on this show.
Absolutely. The Midwest, absolutely.
The Midwest.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's fun, and that's like, tell the folks, so contestant Taylor has made headlines this year.
Yes.
Tell the folks why.
So she was a victim of extreme bullying early on, and she was the house outcast.
Yeah.
And she didn't have any support in the house. And Daniel, the guy that you saw previously, was her number one. He actually attacked her and made her cry and said, "You're a piece of garbage. You need to leave this house." And immediately a bunch of people made an alliance, and she is a part of that alliance called the Leftovers.
So now she has kind of turned the tables. Is she on the rise?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, she's doing really well on the show.
And
she's aligned with Michael.
Oh, she is?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
So is she a good player?
Yeah.
She is?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think so. We'll see. What happens this coming week will really determine how good of a player she is, but I think she definitely has a possibility of going really far into the game as well.
Janelle, I've seen a lot of headlines pop up, talking about pop culture every day from that desk. Even if I don't watch a show, I can sometimes be a good barometer of what's rising into the zeitgeist. I have noticed a lot of headlines popping up about this season. Rank this season with other ones, Janelle. Is this a pretty good season?
Oh, by far, this is one of the best modern Big Brother seasons we've ever seen.
What?
Yeah, it's really
Oh,
good.
wow. I didn't expect. Okay, that's.
Yeah. It's actually a really good season.
Yeah, I think I'm a little bit biased because of Michael being on it, but I do think like this has turned into a really good season.
Usually it can be a total snooze fest.
Really?
Yeah.
And is it because the mix?
The mix, it's like the alliances. There's a split house. There's a lot of fighting. There's a lot of drama.
Yeah, we
know.
want train wrecks. We want drama.
McCrae, tell the folks, I mentioned the title of it. Tell the folks about your the podcast.
Diary Room Open Mic is just a place for me and Janelle just to spew craziness and talk about Big Brother and, you know, talk about whatever, reality, other shows also, but we just, you know, kind of just noodle.
We got together because we both live in Minnesota and we've both done Big Brother, and I was like, let's just do a weekly podcast. Why not?
Janelle, is that your house?
Yes, it's my house.
Look at Janelle's couch. I like the couch, Janelle.
It's an amazing set. Amazing
That's
set.
a really, y'all know TV. That's a really good set.
Yeah.
That's like the
Awesome.
frames. You have good lighting.
Thank
You
you.
have really good
thank you,
lighting.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank
I
you.
always look for that kind of thing. Do you enjoy doing the podcast?
I do. It's so fun.
You don't have to lie.
No, I love doing it, McCrae.
He's right there, Janelle.
I
He's-
have a ton of fun.
Yeah.
I do too.
Seriously.
It's a blast.
It's a very freeing format, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to worry. It's like a traffic cop. Like, you know, here,
Exactly.
like Chris is looking at me. I'm getting ready to have to go to commercial. The podcast is, you can
Yeah.
talk, and when you're
Also,
done talking.
we're very different people, so it's a weird mix of just,
We're
you know,
totally different,
yeah.
if you couldn't tell.
Beauty,
I can tell.
Yeah.
I mean, let's take the 2 shots. Very different. There we go. Yeah. See, right now. Chris, I have to go to break, don't I? See? Okay. Here's the deal, though. Janelle and McCrae are sticking around. Janelle is actually helping you get on reality TV, find out how, plus she's on a new show. And we have a little surprise. That and more when we come back. Back in a moment, everybody. I'm going to break now, Chris. I've said this before when they've both individually been here, but you can always tell the level of stardom of a guest that comes in here because of how excited the newsroom folks are in our building. And the newsroom was aflutter, putting it mildly, about our guests. We're joined today by Big Brother veterans and hosts of Diary Room Open Mic, Janelle and McCrae. Now, Janelle, yeah. So we put together a little surprise for Janelle. A lot of people talk about your memorable moments in the show.
Okay.
I compared you to, like I said, you know, like I said to Jeff, I go, speak to me in Real Housewives language. And he goes, she's like a legend, like Countess Luann and Jill Zarin. So yeah.
I love that. I love both of those housewives.
That's right. So Jeff put together a look at some of Janelle's best moments. Look at this.
I wasn't excited at all when he won. Actually, I felt like throwing up in the pool. Her stuff doesn't really interest me. She collects turtles, and I saw a turtle. Ooh, that's exciting. My father taught me how to play chess when I was a little girl. I do something differently with each guy I play.
God, you're staring.
Michael telling me I'm beautiful is strategy on his part, and me smiling and giggling like a dork is my strategy. Yvette's super slide was made of trash bags. I do like slip and slides, but I'm not gonna partake in Yvette's little ghetto thing that she made.
Those are some classics.
Those are, I mean,
Yes.
look, I was just noticing, like, your hair, the eyebrows. I was noticing, because what year was that?
Oh my gosh, 2005.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Oh my.
I've been doing this a really long time.
Yeah. And now, tell the folks, we were just, you're like a big time realtor now.
Yes, with the Diner Realty. So I sell real estate, kind of concentrate in the South Metro.
Yeah.
But I love it.
House,
So
go
if
talk
you want
to
to buy or sell, call me.
I mentioned too, you have, I love this. You have a class to teach people how to be a good reality star.
Yes.
How did that come to be?
I just kind of thought of it because when I first wanted to get into reality television, there was no class or any information you could kind of learn. I didn't know what to do. So I kind of came up with like a course, a digital course on like the steps to do lighting, auditioning, what to wear, what to say, what not to say, all of that kind of stuff, creating a character, catchphrase, all those little things.
And you're right there with Janelle McCrae. Well, and I've asked you a version of this question before on your appearances, but if someone's watching, they want to be on one of these shows, what's the best advice that, because I'm sure people have asked you at restaurants and bars and wherever, Target, what is single-handedly the best advice you could give?
I'll always like to say, be a version of yourself that's exaggerated. You have to turn on, you have to be a little bit extra. And again, it's a lot of stuff that Janelle actually covers in her course. But I was the one that edited her course, and so I thought all the information was.
He's done the whole course.
Yes, I've done it. Yes,
he's like, I don't think you missed anything.
Yeah.
I like that advice, because even on a job like this or radio or whatever, that's a really good way to put it. You're yourself. Because the trick, and I think you both agree too, the trick is also, whether it's this job or reality, you kind of have to forget about the cameras. You know what I mean? And just be yourself. And that's hard to do when you have floor director Chris and the cameras and the audience. But being that, but like a little extra sugar. Extra sugar.
A little bit of extra sugar for sure helps.
How long did it take you to get used to having cameras following your every move?
It felt like about 1 week, I guess. And then you just kind of forget about it because you're so immersed in it 24/7. It takes about a week, but you never really forget. Other people in my cast definitely forgot the cameras were there, but yes, it's always kind of back there in your mind.
Janelle, for you?
Oh, I would say a couple days or two.
Yeah.
The house, it's like a stage, right? So it's just a glass house. You don't see cameras.
Yeah.
So I was never aware. I just lived my best life in there.
Yeah. Obviously, we saw a few minutes ago. You're also appearing. We did an interview a couple days ago. You're in a new show, Snake in the Grass.
Yes.
Tell the folks about that.
Oh my gosh, it was so fun. So you get dropped into the jungle for 36 hours.
The actual jungle?
Yes. It was so fun. So you get Bobby Bones hosted.
Bobby Bones, yeah, he was on our show a couple days ago.
So I walk onto this beach, and there's these 3 chicks that I've seen through reality TV, and I'm like, what the heck? It was Cerie, Stephanie from Survivor, and Rachel Riley, who's also from Big Brother. And the object of the show is one of us is lying. One of us is not for the team. They're trying to sabotage every competition. So we have to figure out and work as a team who this person is, and every challenge we do is a new clue to figure out who the snake is.
Did you like being in the jungle?
Because
I talked about camping at the beginning. I can't even camp.
So I did it with 2 Survivor people, and I realized then, sleeping on the ground in the jungle with just nothing, I said I could never do Survivor.
Okay.
This is not my show.
Because you shouldn't judge a book by its cover, but I would think you and I are exactly the same. We would not do well in that type of environment.
I was really bad at camping.
Okay.
I was.
Would you do well in this show? You would do. I think you would be great in the. Right now you'd be great.
He's ready for the jungle.
Yeah.
Safari hat. Yeah, I'd probably make it. I'd probably do fine.
I was gonna. That wouldn't freak you out.
It wouldn't freak me out. No, I'd get annoyed, but I think it'd be pretty fine.
I think you would do really well.
Yeah.
Give it up for Janelle and McCrae, everybody. You can find Janelle How to Become a Reality Star TV course online. There's a link in her Instagram profile of Janelle. And then follow McCrae on his Twitter. His handle is at the bottom of your screen. You can find their podcast, Diary Room Open Mic, wherever you find your podcast. One more time for McCrae and Janelle, everybody. We'll be right back. I'm going to the audience next. Back in a moment. Thank you guys so much.